All right, welcome back. It's time for Data Point. And tonight, remember, I told you that there is a survey that was conducted by the EACC, that is the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. In June 2023, it was focusing on the corruption prevalence in the country for the year 2022. And part of that looked at the bribery during the general election of the year 2022. So let's take a look at the feedback based on what they were able to report. And they returned that 33.5% of respondents received a bribe in that election, while 66.5% did not receive. Now, 33% may appear like a small figure, but this is more than a third of the respondents, meaning if you have to extrapolate it, you have a voter population of 22 million. So 33.5% would be more than 7.3 million voters. So if 7.3 million voters, if we were to use that as a representative sample, then it would mean they all received a bribe. So how much was the bribe, and is it significant? They say that, of course, this is the detailed analysis that has been posted by the EACC. It says 66.5% not receiving a bribe, while 33.5% admitted receiving it. So 71% of those received between 30 shillings and 1,000 shillings during the campaign. Then 23% received between 1,000 shillings and 5,000 shillings, while 3% received more than 5,000, which is 6,000 shillings, up to 10,000 shillings in bribe. But there are those that were lucky to receive more than 700,000. And the detailed view, based on a bar chart, that is a bar graph rather, you'll find that that is how it goes between 30,000 to 30 shillings to 1,000, 71.3%. If you have to look at the figure between 12,000 and 20,000, it is 1.16%, while 30,000 to 70,000 is 0.97%. And then 150,000 to 600,000 shillings was 0.15%. So these are people that received these resources with a view to influencing them on how they were going to vote in the 2022 election. So like I said, 7.37% would be the number of voters that may have received a bribe. So did it affect them? We'll be seeing that they said that 82.3% did not, despite taking the bribe, they were not influenced on how they were voting, or rather their voting decision was not affected, while 17.7% say that actually that bribe affected their decision. So if you had to step back and say that 7.37 million voters may have been influenced through a bribe, or they received a bribe, 17.7% would be more than 1 million voters, which is equivalent, or a number that is high enough, significant enough to be in a position to influence the outcome of an election. Of course, they did not single out whether it is the presidential election or it was the other elections in the different parts of the country. Now, this is coming at a time that Transparency International gave a report that shows the ranking of countries in terms of how countries are dealing with corruption. And the country Kenya is ranking at 126th position out of 180. And the score, which is more important, Kenya scored 31 out of 100. Bearing in mind that if you have to score 100, it means you're very clean. If you have to score 0, it means that you're highly corrupt. So for Kenya to post 31, then it means that we are closer to highly corrupt, a country which is actually lower than the sub-Saharan Africa average. Then the cleanest countries are highlighted here. For instance, Denmark topped the most clean countries at 90 out of 100 as a score. Finland, a score of 87 out of 100. New Zealand posted 85 out of 100 in terms of score. That is Transparency International in a report they released in the year 2024. The cleanest African countries, or countries that would appear to be leading the pack in terms of dealing with corruption, Botswana has a score of 59. It is ranking position 39 globally. Rwanda, which is just our neighbor here, is having a score of 53 and ranking 49 globally. Remember, Kenya is ranking 126 with a score of 31. Mauritius is a score of 51, ranking 55, while Namibia is a score of 49 and ranking number 59 out of 180. How about the East African region? The Corruption Perception Index would show that Tanzania is leading the pack, a score of 40 at a rank number 87. Ethiopia, score of 37, a rank of 98. Kenya here again, a score of 31, a rank of 126. And Uganda is 26 score and rank is 141. Of course, other countries like South Sudan would actually post the worst results when it comes to the assessment of that corruption perception index, and that is a data point for this week.